back to Haunt the Collector with me, Jace. Now look, I'm going to crack on with this because this could potentially be a really long video. So bear with me on this one. Now, I got the idea for this a few weeks back with the whole uproar over the Prime 1 Alien Big Chap re-release. So this is where this all sort of, I noticed all this and I thought I want to do a video on this. I got the idea pretty much straight away. But I wanted to leave it a few weeks for the dust to settle, because some people were very emotional. I want to start off by saying a couple of things that I want to get clear from the off before I go down this rather controversial route. To all of you out there who bought the OG Alien Big Chap, who received a broken piece or broken statue that wasn't resolved by Prime 1, i.e. all of you who got the either ship it back to us at your own cost, or we'll give you an $85 credit on our store. To you guys, that is an insult. That is a complete insult by Prime 1. They have totally and utterly failed you. And I am disgusted that a prestigious company like that had that attitude towards you guys and they left that situation like that. I want to make that abundantly clear. And any of you who might have been in any of those groups I'm about to talk about now, ranting and raving, you deserve your rant. You more than deserve your rant and rave. I am not on about you. I'm on about everyone outside of your little niche group. Okay? Secondly, this is just a YouTube channel. This is just my YouTube channel. Where, because I love collecting statues and I love the whole nerdy, geeky thing about it. I love everything about it. I love the community. I love chatting to you all. You've all got a rough idea what I'm like. And these are my points of view and my opinions. So this is going to go on the internet and there might be people reading this who maybe aren't. I don't mean to have a meltdown. That's all. I don't mean to have a meltdown. If I say something now in the next coming 15, 20, 25 minutes that really gets you, just take a deep breath, calm down, put it in the comments and we'll have a little discussion about it. Okay? If that's possible. Right. Okay. Here we go. Brave or what? Now, for me, when all that was happening, and everything that was going on, and I spent a lot of time reading the comments on a lot of threads on a lot of groups, as I'm sure most of you did. And as you all know, I've pre-ordered the re-release. I was open about that from day one. Now, when all that was going on, there seemed to be a very definitive split in attitudes of collectors. Now, there was the one group that I am far more akin to myself, who were, yeah, you know, they shouldn't do it. It's a little bit naughty, but hey, you know, they have done. Fair play to those who are going to pre-order it. They're going to get a really good statue. I even had not one, but two people who own the OG piece who messaged me and they said, do you know what? Shouldn't be doing re-releases, but it is what it is. I've got my piece. I'm happy with it. And I'm really chuffed, Jace, that you've got your pre-order on it because I know you'll love it. What a fantastic attitude to have. And that is the attitude I think you need to aspire to. Those two people that messaged me. I'm not going to say their names. They know who they are. That was incredible. And then there's the other side of the fence. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to just bring up comments that I saw. Now, not just one-off comments, lots of comments. Now, there were certainly one or two people who were blowing smoke up Prime 1's arse and being serious arse kissers. I'm not going to say there weren't. But there was also another group who were... Now, we know we have the bandwagon things and all that. I'm not going all that. I'm just going to address some of the things that were being said because I felt that there is a very hardcore group of collectors, shall we say. A very sort of militant group who've been doing this for a long, long time. One of the two of them were even referring to sort of my sort of type of collector I am as noobs. Really, we're in the playground, are we? While we're in the playground, here's a comment. This is a genuine comment that came up. Somebody put, and there was one or two people who agreed with him. There was quite a few likes on it. This was the comment they put. Trust me, this is there. Some of you may have even seen it. I hope Prime 1 die. How old are you? Seriously? Now, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I thought about this, and I thought, okay, let's just for a minute, let's all of us imagine, not just those that love Prime 1, even you that hate Prime 1. Let's imagine they did tomorrow morning, they shut and bolted their doors, the shutters are down, the windows are barred, their website's a big black screen with a note there saying, we're done, we're finished guys, you called us on it and you got us, you beat us. All your pre-orders are gone. All your money's on its way back to you, you'll get all your money back, but that's it, we're not doing it anymore. We're done making statues, we're out. You know, yeah, we did hike our shipping prices up to rip you off. You know, it wasn't the pandemic and the fact that everything's gone up in price. And that was what happened with our statue prices. Yeah, we just put them up because it wasn't the pandemic and the fact that every cost, every expense has gone up. No, you called us out on it, we're gone. Just imagine that for a minute. You go on about people leaving the hobby and, you know, statue collecting community being ruined or disrupted. I'll come to that in a minute. I think if Prime 1 went, it would leave a massive void in the statue collecting world, because they are the biggest producers of statues. They produce loads. They produce more than any 3 or 4 companies, I would think, out there combined. Maybe more than that. When you think how much the other companies all physically are doing at the moment, they can't hold a candle to what Prime 1 do. And I think even you lot that hate Prime 1 for whatever reason, I think even you'd miss them. And I think you'd miss them very quickly. If for no other reason, you've got no one else to vent your anger and hate at. I think if Prime 1 were to go, I think you would see a big, with such a gap left, such a void left, I think you would see people think, you know what, there's hardly anything coming out. There's hardly anything coming out of these other companies, or everything that I don't want it, I'm not into it. And you would see people leaving the hobby. So that would affect the community, and it would affect statue collecting in general. It's that old adage, be careful what you wish for. I just wanted to chuck that in. Now, going back to comments. I got into a discussion, perfectly back and forward discussion, some of you may have read it, where, and one of the things that was brought up was, the person I was chatting to was saying to me that in regards to this reissue and the people who have pre-ordered it, because I said I've pre-ordered it, you've got to think of the community. You've got to think how what you're doing, how it affects the community. I don't get that. I actually said I don't understand what you mean, and they didn't answer it for me. Maybe I'm missing something, because I think there's a lot of things I'm going to come to that I'm missing out on. You see, because I wasn't aware of this leather-bound tome of a book that was obviously written sometime pre-2010, that only people that were collecting back then have read, that lays out all these rules and instructions that we're supposed to abide to and stick to and be aware of. Because when I buy a statue, when I pre-order a statue, I can tell you now I'm 100% selfish. You know, with that purchase, 100%. I'm buying it for me. I'm buying it for my collection with my money. So, do some of you buy a statue and think, oh, whoa, before I click the pre-order button, I need to think, oh, this is going to affect the community. If I buy it from this company or this piece, from this line. Does anyone think that way? Because if you do, you need to explain that to me. You need to. I don't get that. That brings me to another point, sort of along the same lines, where there were people who, you know, there were some people who were basically saying, you know, sort of, in regards to this reissue, you shouldn't be buying it. You know, you shouldn't be buying it because it's encouraging Prime 1 to do this again with other pieces and additions and all that. I'm totally aware of that. I do get it. Honestly, I do understand that. And to them people, I could see. But then there were people who were going like a step further. Quite a big step further, who were basically saying, you should not be buying this piece, you do not buy this piece from Prime, you should be buying anything from Prime 1, basically standing on their soapboxes, dictating to people what they should do. And these comments are there, you can go and read them, assuming the threads are still there. And I was amazed, I was like, well, some of these people must have a seriously bloated, out of proportion sense of their own self-importance to think that they can dictate to everyone. Like, anyone I'll tell you now, anyone who thinks that way, or who was put those comments, I can tell you now, categorically, I'll look you in the eye and I'll tell you now, you don't get to tell me what I buy, and you never will. It's my money, it's my collection. I buy what I... Do you know what? I never mention YouTube channels on this, other YouTube channels, or I haven't done, or very rarely I do. But I will mention one now. I'll mention Jeddah Patrol, because he's got a fantastic little tagline. You've probably seen it. Collect what you like. Superb, brilliant, perfect. That's the soundest bit of advice I think you could ever give a collector. Needs a full stop after it though. Collect what you like, period. Your collection, your money. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can and can't buy. And anyone who thinks that they can, mate, you are deluded. There's a whole thing about the easygoing, us, we don't understand what we're doing by doing this. We're, that we're clueless. That the ripple effect from this is going to affect everything. It's going to affect the community. It's going to affect the future of statue collecting. It is a really, really bad thing that you're doing this. And I said to one guy, I just asked him why. Why is it? And his answer to me was, if you don't know the answer to that, I'm not going to explain it to you. And I just thought, yeah, you're saying that because you haven't got an answer. That's just a cop-out. Why make these statements and you've not got anything to back them up? I sit here on here making statements, but I feel I explain myself, and I do my very best to explain where I am, and I don't claim to be some massive expert. I quite often ask you guys, I am doing now, this is why I'm doing this video. Am I missing something here? Is there some unwritten rule that I'm not aware of? I agree that the OG piece will always be superior. It always will. And I think some of you who have this piece are missing quite an important thing here. All this stuff that has happened around this, your piece has gained so much notoriety now from what it already had. People, especially like old school hardcore collectors or people who come in who want to be hardcore collectors, are only going to be after like those really, really prestigious pieces, will always want that one over the reissue. They'll always want it. Probably become even more valuable now, even more sought after. I think it has. This was where I stopped reading. This was where I just sort of, that's it, that's me done. That's me done on this now, this entire subject. You've all had 3 years. You've all had 3 years to pre-order this, and you didn't do it. And you're only pre-ordering it now because you saw what a great piece it was and how much we love it, blah, blah, blah. First of all, to the person who put that comment, you can't have the first clue of what anyone's situation was for the 3 years that was up for pre-order. I don't think it was up for pre-order for 3 years, but anyway, let's just for argument's sake say it was. And COVID definitely played a big part in a lot of people pre-ordering that piece or not pre-ordering that piece. It definitely did. And you can't sit there and say that you know for a fact it did or it didn't, blah, blah, blah. That is just a completely ridiculous statement to make, and it is completely unconsidered. But regardless, and all this stuff about it destroying the community and you shouldn't buy from Prime One and you definitely shouldn't be pre-ordering this piece and it's all noobs doing this and they ruin it for everybody and all this stuff going, and you've all had 3 years to pre-order it, all this stuff was going. And then a guy commented. Now, I didn't know who this guy was, although I was fairly sure I'd seen his name here and there. And somebody told him this guy is like a real old school collector. I think he's European. I generally can't remember his name, but even if I could, I wouldn't mention it anyway, not without his permission. And he put a comment on this thread. He said, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this, but I've pre-ordered it. And then he said a few of it. I have never seen such a U-turn in people's attitudes since he put that. It was literally, like, oh, no, mate, not you, your sound, don't worry, we know you wouldn't do it. I just shook my head in despair, and I was just like, if you're going to have these massive opinions, you're going to stand on this soapbox, literally sort of calling people out, and some of the rows and arguments that were going on. And then just because, and I'm sorry to put it this way, but I can't think on the spot of a better way, because sort of like one of your own, someone that you respect, like this sort of guy from your gang, went and ordered it, you're all like, well, oh, right, okay, oh, well, that's cool, yeah, brilliant, well done, fantastic, woo. Stick to your opinion, stick to what you've been saying. You should just, why not just say to him, oh, really, dude, wow, I'm really surprised at that. I really am. I suppose the thing for me is, I've picked a situation where it really brought sort of the emotions to the surface, and I'm probably being a bit unfair because I'm sort of, I suppose I am categorising, and I know this is a majorly small minority of people who are commenting on these groups, and I am picking on the ones who are the most irate. And when people are sort of saying that, you shouldn't be doing this, and when they're saying that you don't understand how this affects things or how this is going to ruin it, or this statue company now will do this and they'll do that. This is the thing, because you've got like a core group who think that way, and then you've got a group who are like, yeah, do you know what? I don't understand. I don't think I can ever get to where this group is over here. I don't think I could ever be that serious about something which isn't serious. And it isn't. Nothing about this is critical, is important even. I do it for a hobby. I do it because I'm passionate and I love doing it. The same as this channel. It isn't critical. It isn't important. So I could never get myself to the place where some people are, where they are so angry and they're so upset and they're so insulted and infuriated that other collectors can't see their opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. That's why I'm sort of doing this. And I suppose I've been a little bit unfair because I've sort of picked on people who are really irate. But I've got to say it how I saw it, on how I see and interpret things and how I've read things. Maybe I'm missing something, which is why I'm doing this. Maybe some of you can explain to me, you know, where am I, what am I not seeing? What am I not understanding? Or is it the fact that most of us are pretty laid back and it's just collecting? And even some of you more hardcore collectors have sat there saying, yeah, you know what, Jace, I'm a serious, mega serious. I mean, I'm a serious collector. Look how much money I'm pouring into this. But you're like, you know, you're more old school than I am. And, you know, you can see where these guys are more than I am. But you're sort of like, yeah, you know, you are picking out Jay's guys who have gone over the top and overreacted. In all fairness, I'm not like that. But I am really angry with Prime 1 because of the reissue. I'm really angry with Prime 1 because they didn't. I totally understand they're not resolving the broken statue issues, as I said at the start of the video. So maybe some of you can explain this to me. Is it that important? Does it matter? Because to me it doesn't. I just can't get myself over there. I can't get myself to that point. Not for something that I do it because it's fun, and I'll always be part of the crowd who are clearly happy and enjoy what they do and don't take it to heart and don't take it too seriously. And being happy and doing something that makes you happy, that's why you do it, surely. If for some people that makes me an arsehole for thinking that way, then fine, I'm an arsehole, but I'm an arsehole who's happy. I think I just want to end this probably highly controversial, and I've probably divided people a bit on this one, but you know what, you got to be controversial. You got to do these things sometimes to get, you know, because I don't want to tiptoe around issues like other people do. I want to sort of tackle it headlong and give you my opinions and some feedback from you all and how you feel. And you know, am I way off field here? Am I like missing really important issues here? I don't quite know how this video is going to be received, but I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bang it out there, and maybe some of you will sort of see where I'm coming from. Maybe some of you are going to be like really disagree with me. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'd love to hear from either end and let me know what you think. I hope this video has been at least entertaining and interesting, and it's definitely controversial, and I'd love to hear what you all think. So as a happy, laid back, chilled collector, I'm going to thank you all for watching this video, and I really don't know how this is going to be taken, but oh well. I'm going to wish you all a fantastic weekend. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you all on the next video, which will probably be next week now. Cheers guys, really appreciate the support for the channel and for watching this video and everything else. Take care.